Hey, hey, y'all. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How are y'all doing? How y'all doing? Welcome to Daily Devotion. Welcome to Daily Devotion. Welcome, 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 welcome. How y'all doing on this Friday? How are y'all doing? I know I didn't go live on yesterday. At the last minute, I was called to come on a TV show, so I couldn't. So I didn't come on here yesterday to go live. And the TV show is airing next Friday. So I will post that. So those of you who are following me, y'all can catch the live of the show next week, the recording of the show next week. So today's daily devotion is called You're Almost There. Y'all come on in, like my live, share my live. Aiden. Aiden. It's called You're Almost There, coming for Philippians 3rd chapter, 14th verse. Press on. As y'all come on, y'all stay for a while. Click that screen for 30 seconds and share my live, because y'all never know who may need what it is that I have to say. Psychologists say the strongest influence on our present is often our past. But Paul tells us to forget the past and focus on what lies ahead. Press on to receive the heavenly prize, verse 13 and 14. One counselor writes, I know you're tired, overwhelmed, as though this hard time will last forever. It won't. You are almost there. You don't just think it has been hard. It has been hard. You have been tested, retested on what you have learned, your faith tried in fire. More problems occurred than anticipated. You did not plan on this, yet it has been good. Part of you, your spirit, has a sense this even when your head told you that things were all out of whack, that there was no plan, that God had forgotten you. Each incident, the most painful, troubling, most surprising, has a connection. In all things, God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. Romans 8 and 28. The counselor continues, things were meant to happen this way. You didn't believe it would take this long, but it did. You have learned patience. Many moments you thought you were forgotten. Now things are coming into place. You're almost at the end of this difficult portion of the journey. You have been climbing a mountain. It has not been easy, but mountain climbing is never easy. Steady your shoulders. Breathe deeply. Move forward in confidence. Victory shall be yours. Now you're near the top. A moment longer and victory shall be yours. Steady your shoulders. Breathe deeply. Move in confidence. The time is coming to enjoy all which you have fought for. Your struggle has not been in vain. For every struggle on your journey, there is a climax, a resolution. There will be more mountains, but now you know how to climb them. You're almost there. I know that life has been lifing, okay? I know this all too well. about how things can happen in life and you trying to figure out how to move on with life. For me, losing a child, I felt like that was the worst thing that could happen. Like, I can't really describe the feeling that I have with losing a child. My child unalived himself 2 years ago. 1 week exactly after his 18th birthday. So when it says you have been tested and retested on something you already learned, and I felt like I was tested and tested and tested. And after losing my child, the journey God took me on, now I'm feeling like, hey, how you doing? Now I feel like I'm starting to come out of it because of how my life has changed. Because God told me on this journey, He told me that I was a new creature, even though I was trying to be the old me. I don't know if you ever lost someone. And when you lost someone, you're trying to feel like how you did before the person passed away. You're trying to feel like you tired of being sad all the time. You're tired of being depressed. You just want to feel like yourself again. And that's how it was when I lost my son. I was like, I just want to be me again. And God came and told me, and He said, no, you're all things pass away. You're about to be a new creature. So I was like, what are you talking about? Well, so I was trying to figure out what it is that He was talking about, right? So then He started separating me. That's when He started separating me. I thought I was going to be outside hanging with my friends. Now, mind you, we don't go out like that. Like, we don't go party, but, just hanging out with them, going out to eat, like, planning trips, just stuff like that. But He just told me it was time for me to start separating myself, and he secluded me, and He had me quiet. He had me in my prayer closet reading the Bible. And then in 2024, I walked in my purpose. So if you've been trying to figure out what your purpose is, you've been trying to figure out who it is or what it is that God wants you to do, just know that you're almost there. I asked God in 2019, what was my purpose? I didn't walk into my purpose until 2024. I didn't know that in 2019, when He told me to leave my job, that He was setting me up for the purpose that I have now, which is a ministry called Grieving Gracefully, where I show people that you don't have to shun God because He didn't answer your prayer the way you wanted Him to, because God didn't answer my prayer concerning my son the way that I wanted to. I wanted my son to have a complete turnaround and for him to have a testimony to tell the kids in our community. But instead, God completely came and got him, took him back up there with Him, and gave me the testimony. Okay. And because of the way I grieve, I didn't grieve like normal people. Thank you for liking my live. I didn't grieve like normal people. A lot of people, when they lose a child or they lose someone close to them, they hate God, they blame God. Like it's real hard for them to grasp the concept that their child is gone. I'm not saying I didn't go through that. I'm just saying that instead of me being mad at God because my child was gone, because God was all I knew, and because of the relationship I built with Him before my child passed, when my child passed, God was all I knew. So now I have walked in my purpose. I told y'all 2019, I asked God what was my purpose. And then He started setting me up. So little by little, He started setting me up. And then in 2024, I walked into it and I became a speaker. Now I speak and I tell my stories. I speak at events. Now, I've been on podcasts telling my story. I didn't go live yesterday because I was called to do another I was on a Christian TV show, and it's going to air next Friday. So I was on another story, another Christian TV show to tell my story and to talk about my newly published journal that I wrote. And so now I'm also a published author as well. So just know that you're almost there. Whatever it is that you're praying for and you've been asking God for, just know that you're almost there. I know you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. I know it seems like everything is piling on you, getting more and more bills. Every time you turn around, something is happening. Something is breaking in the house. Somebody getting on your nerves on your job. Don't give up. Don't give up. You're almost there. You're almost there. Because I never thought that this would be the life that I'm living. I wanted to be a lawyer. I failed public speaking on purpose. So to think when I was in college, I purposely failed public speaking and had to take it twice. Failed public speaking, and now I'm speaking in public. Now I'm a public speaker, okay? And now I'm a published author. Like the things that I didn't want to do, because I was like, I hated writing stories in school. I hated writing stories. And to think that now that's what God gave me to do. So whatever it is he gave me to do, I work on being obedient and doing what it is that he tell me to do. And this is the journal that I published in 2024. It's a 30-day journal. It's a guided grief journal. I also tell people, if you just want a closer relationship with God, this is the journal for you as well, because it teaches you. This is everything that I did when I felt like I was just getting closer to God. And God thought, I thought I'm just getting close to God, but God thought what I was doing was a big deal and that people needed to see and read what it is that I did to get through losing a child. And so that's how this journal came to pass. And I'm going to talk about this until I can't talk no more, okay? It's forgiveness. Forgiveness, forgiveness, forgiveness. Forgiveness. That's the first thing I talk about in this journal right here. Is in my grief process, God had me forgive people real quickly. And I mean, I lost my son December 28th, 2022. God had me forgive everybody who I thought was in connection to it. Everybody I think that didn't do enough. Like I had to forgive myself because I thought I didn't do enough to help my son, even though me and my husband had him in counseling. Like y'all just understand. I had to forgive my son because I felt like he left me. I'm like, of all people, you left me, your mama. Like he was my firstborn. So when God had me forgive early, and I feel like God had me forgive people early because he wanted me to be able to show you all how it is on this journey, how to forgive. That's one part of it. One part of it. I give you scripture on forgiveness, and I also give you a prayer for you to pray for forgiveness. Because sometimes we'll say we forgive somebody, and then as soon as we see that person, like we start getting butterflies in our stomach, or we see them and we start frowning up our face because we see them again or something like that, and we really haven't forgiven them, so we got to forgive them again. And sometimes I do got to forgive people over and over, depending on how mad they got me. But in this instance, when I did the forgiving of everybody, because God had me write a list of people that I needed to forgive, immediately when I forgave those people, I felt a weight lifted off of me. And I boohoo cried. I cried because I cried as if I lost my son all over again. And I know some people was like, I don't want to forgive. Everybody isn't in a place to want to forgive. And I'm like, I know how that is, because I was not in a space where I wanted to forgive. You hear me? I wanted revenge. I was in the mindset of wanting revenge because when my son unalived himself a couple days prior to, I always check his room for stuff. And I had already checked his room and I didn't find a pum in my son's room. So when this day came and he unalived himself, I'm like, where did this pum come from? Because I just checked his room and there was no pum. So where did this pum come from? And now I wanted to know who gave him the pum. That's where I was. I was like, I want to find and I want to get whoever gave him this pum so I can get him. That's why I wanted revenge. Y'all hear me? I wanted revenge. And God said, forgive. So I know if you're not in a headspace to forgive, I know how that feels when you lost a loved one and you are blaming everybody around you. You blaming everybody connected, the people who you feel like didn't do enough, whether it's doctors, whether it's family members, whoever it is. I know that feeling. And God had me forgive fast. And once he did, and once I prayed the prayer that I put in my journal, when I tell y'all, all of that lifted off of me, like all the heaviness, all the hurt, and all of the anger that I was feeling because I wanted revenge, all of that left me. All of it left me. And so now when I see people that I blame, because I had to forgive my community, because I felt like my community didn't have any programs for young men in my community. When I reached out and I was trying to find somebody to help me with my son because of how he was acting out. Can I imagine a child that's an AB honor roll student, basketball star, playing AAU basketball, all of a sudden his grades suck, all of a sudden he don't want to play basketball no more? And he been playing basketball and making straight A's. He making straight A's since he started school. Well, you might well say around the same time because he started playing basketball when he was 5 years old. And ever since he was in preschool, like he learned early. So he was, he was smarter than most, but he didn't. The older he got, he stopped. I guess he didn't want to be the smart kid. So it's like he just start his grades start sucking real bad. And then he ended up getting into the streets. So the whole time that I was asking God what was my purpose, I'm going through all of this with my son. But in the same time, I'm still leaning on God. I'm still praying and fasting. I'm still doing all the things and keeping this relationship with God, even though I'm praying. I'm like, Lord, I need your help with my son. Because there should be no reason why I have to lay hands on my son for him to listen to me. Like I was tired of that. I was tired of him sneaking out of the house and him coming home and I got to I'm laying my hands on him because you done disrespect us. I'm like, Lord, I don't want to do that no more. I don't want to do that. Why I got to do that? And you know what the Lord did? He came and got him. He said, you asked for my help. Isn't that what you did? You asked for my help. So I came and helped. He said, I knew that he was becoming too much for you. So I had to come and get him. I'm not saying your story will be my story. I'm just telling you. I'm not saying my story gonna be your story. I'm just telling you my story. So it says, your struggle has not been in vain. For every struggle on this journey, there's a climax, a resolution. There will be more mountain, but now you know how to climb them. So even though you feel like you've been tested and retested, even though you feel like it's getting more painful, it's troubling, it's more surprises coming to you, I want you to know, don't give up. You're almost there. You're almost there. It says Philippians 3rd chapter 14th verse. It says, Paul tells us to forget the past and focus on what lies ahead. Press on to receive the heavenly prize. So keep going. It won't be in vain. You're going to get, whether you get you're so welcome. Thank you for joining me. Even though you may feel like you may not get it here on earth, because I know some people, they're looking for a reward on earth. We may not all get our reward on earth. You may have to wait and get your reward in heaven. And I'm pretty sure you would prefer to have that reward in heaven rather than to get it on earth, then don't get it in heaven. Okay. So please don't give up. I know you're tired. I know you're overwhelmed. I know this time will be the last time. You're thinking it will be the last time, but it won't. You're almost there. You don't just think it has been hard. I know it's been hard. You have been tested and retested on what you have learned. Your faith tried in the fire. More problems have occurred than you anticipated. You didn't plan for this, yet it has been good. Part of you, your spirit has sensed this even when your head told you that things were out of whack, that there was no plan, that God had forgotten you. Things were meant to happen this way. You didn't believe it would take this long, but it did. Sometimes God want to test you because he want to see if when he give you whatever it is that you've been praying for, if you can handle whatever it is that you've been praying for. You have learned patience. Many moments you thought you were forgotten. Now things are coming into place. Hold on. You might start seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. Keep going. Keep going. Things are starting to come into place for you. You're almost at the end of this difficult portion of your journey. Keep going. You have been climbing a mountain, and it has not been easy. Climbing a mountain is not easy. Now you're near the top. A moment longer, and a victory shall be yours. Steady your shoulders. Breathe deeply. Move forward in confidence. The time is coming to enjoy all which you have fought for. You're almost there. That's my time, y'all. I pray that you all were blessed by today's daily devotion. You're almost there. Philippians 3:14. Press on. I go live Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will be back here on Monday with another daily devotion. I pray that you all were blessed. I pray that you all have an amazing night on purpose. And I will see you all later. Bye-bye.
Mommy, everyone be quiet. And Mommy, everyone be quiet.
Aiden, you talking and mommy wasn't even...